the Sopwith 3F.2 Hippo. In 1917, the Sopwith Company designed several two-seat military aircraft. One of the first of these was a two-seat fighter designated Type 3F2 and named Hippo. The power unit was a 200-horsepower Clerget 11EB, an 11-cylinder rotary engine. The 230-horsepower BR2 was regarded as an alternative, but it is doubtful whether any Hippo ever had the Bentley engine. To give the crew the widest possible field of view, the two bay wings were given a heavy negative stagger. The fuselage was so deep that it filled the entire gap between the wings and raised the crew high enough for their heads to be level with the upper wing. The leading edge of the center section was cut back and padded to form the rear of the pilot's cockpit. The Air Board was apparently not sufficiently keen on the type to award official contract for the construction of a prototype. License number 16 was issued to the firm, permitting them to build the Hippo as a private venture. Design drawings dated 30th April 1917 depict the Hippo with plain ailerons and a vertical tail assembly of typical Sopwith outline, incorporating a horn-balanced rudder. The first prototype differed slightly in having balanced ailerons, and its fin consisted only of the basic quadrilateral frame of the surface. The gunner's cockpit, behind the rear spar of the upper wing, was commodious, but contained only rocking post mountings for the observer's two Lewis guns. The pilot had two fixed Vickers guns, which were almost wholly enclosed. The somewhat bulbous fairing over them obstructed the pilot's forward view. The wing structure was quite conventional. There was an upper center section connected to the top longerons by short vertical struts. The lower wings were attached to stub wings, and dihedral was 3 degrees. The fuselage top decking met the underside of the center section and contained the 11-gallon gravity petrol tank. The 30-gallon main pressure tank was immediately underneath, within the fuselage proper. The undercarriage V-struts were of wood. Surviving references to the Hippo are conflicting, and it is difficult to determine the type's history. The Hippo is known to have been at Brooklands early in November 1917. At that time it was fitted with a Clerget 11EB engine taken from a Sopwith Bulldog. It has been reported that after trials, presumably makers' trials, later that month, the Hippo was modified and strengthened. Apparently a new set of wings were made and fitted in December 1917. The Hippo subsequently went to Martlesham Heath, where it was tested in January 1918. Although the aircraft bore no identifying number externally, the official test report records it as X-11. With full military load of 2 Vickers and 2 Lewis guns, with 260 pounds of ammunition, the Hippo was 290 pounds over the designed loaded weight. Its performance, although quite good, was inferior to that of the Bristol F-2B. Moreover, the official report was critical of the aircraft's flying qualities. The machine is very slow and heavy on lateral control. Also, the pilot and passenger are too far apart for easy communication, these points being disadvantages to a fighting machine. The rudder and elevator controls are fairly light. The pilot's view could be improved by cutting away more cowling, and better lighting of the instruments would be obtained by the insertion of a window in the cowling. The Hippo was officially abandoned as a type for the BR2 or the Clerget 11EB engines in February 1918. Nevertheless, the Sopwith Company apparently thought that the design was worth persevering with, for it was modified quite extensively after its return from Martlesham. In an attempt to improve the lateral control, new plain ailerons of greater span replaced the original balanced surfaces. Dihedral was increased to 5 degrees, and an enlarged fin, built to conform with the original design drawing, was fitted. Several less apparent modifications had been incorporated. Stagger had been reduced from 2 feet 3 3/8 inches to 1 foot 9 3/8 inches. and the fuselage structure was modified accordingly. In the undercarriage, the V-struts were formed of streamlined section steel tubing, and the larger 750 by 120 mm tires were fitted. A scarf ring was fitted to the rear cockpit for the observer's Lewis gun. In this form, X-11 re-emerged early in April 1918. By then, it was too late for any real official interest to be revived in the design. The Bristol F-2B was giving satisfaction in service, and the next generation of two-seat fighters were being designed around the new ABC Dragonfly engine. There was therefore no hope for the Hippo. Nevertheless, a further prototype, X-18, was built and was flying in June 1918. So I'm still organizing my How to Disrupt a Guitar videos, which are important to me because I'm pretty much the only one who could make this video. So I thought I'd start in on the Sopwith Hippo while I'm working on the disruptor video.
Is it right? This is right.
Anyway, here's my usual montage.